Yo, what's happening guys, and welcome to a brand new Modern Warfare video. Today we're going to look at the Modern Warfare beta. We're going to look at kind of the good, the bad, the ugly. I want to just give you guys my thoughts and opinions about the beta, and what I personally think needs to change, and what needs to stay, and all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys here. I'm going to be very, very honest, and I think that's really important nowadays. There's kind of this idea that you should just be positive for the sake of being positive, and also there's an idea that you should be negative for the sake of being negative. I don't believe in any of that. I just honestly speak from the heart. I want to be completely honest and let you guys know exactly what I think. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, and at the same time I'm not going to exaggerate and be overly negative for the sake of being negative. That's what it's all about, guys. Hopefully some of you guys agree with my opinion, and I know that some of you guys will disagree, and like I said, that's what it's all about, and that's what the comment section's for down below. So let me know your comments down below. I will respect your opinions if it's completely different to mine, and yeah, we can have a discussion about it in the comments. This is my honest opinion. I personally think if the game stays exactly how it is right now, I personally don't see the game doing too well. I think after a couple of months the game will get very stale and a lot of people will just move on. I think that Modern Warfare has the potential to be one of the best Call of Duty games ever, and I'm being 100% serious about that. I uploaded a video quite recently saying this could be the best Call of Duty ever, and I still stand by that. It has so much potential and there's so many really good things about it. Just to me, my experience over the beta weekend was weighed down by a lot of very frustrating things that were within the game. But I'll start out with the things that I do like about the game, just to keep it positive to start off with. We're being positive for the sake of being positive here, why not, I suppose. So, I really like how the game looks. The game looks absolutely fantastic. The lighting, the colours, there's a few lighting issues in the game where like, it's rendering in really dark in doorways and like you can barely see people sometimes. In general, if you're looking at the map from an aesthetic standpoint, it looks beautiful, and I think if you guys really like games with nice graphics and really gritty visuals and things that look realistic, you guys will love it. It looks really, really good. The way the maps are designed, they look like real life locations. I really love the artwork and design that they put into the game. It just looks really, really nice. The gun models, the animations, they look really, really clean. I really love the gunsmith in the game where you can customize your weapon. You actually have to put a bit of time into looking to see what could possibly work for your playstyle. There's a lot of variety within gunsmith which will allow you to play the game the way you want to play it. If you want to be faster and run about crazy, you can kind of do certain things, but obviously there will be drawbacks to doing that, like faster ADS speed might mean more recoil, and there's lots of different things like that which I think is really cool in the gunsmith. I think the sound in the game is absolutely fantastic, the way guns sound, and I think like they've done some work with the footstep audio. Personally, I'm not having much of an issue hearing footsteps now. There is certain scenarios in certain locations in the map where it's a little bit muffled and there's so many explosions going on outside. It's really difficult to tell, you know, which are enemy footsteps and which are friendly footsteps. And obviously with the whole UAV thing that was happening at the start of the weekend, it was extra difficult to know what was going on at times. I think they've definitely improved it from the alpha, but there is some issues there still with the audio, which they've acknowledged and they're going to fix. Now once again, I did really like how the maps looked, but personally I really disliked how the maps played. The only map I didn't run into as many issues with was Gunrunner, but even at a certain point it was kind of frustrating the way it played out sometimes. The way the spawning system seems to work in this game, it allows enemies to hold down their spawn really well. If you kill 3 or 4 enemies out of a certain part of the map, instead of spawns flipping, they'll keep spawning with their teammates camping in the back of the spawn or sitting in the back of the spawn. So you're basically forced to challenge people who are spawn camping quite a lot of the time. Usually what you would do is kill a couple of people and you're like, okay, this guy's camping up here, the spawns are flipping, I'll just go and get the other guys on the way back out of their spawn. You know, you're actually basically forced to push the spawn out completely. The spawns are very, very sticky, and the spawns are very, very inconsistent as well. There were certain occasions in Hackney Yard especially where people were literally spawning on top of each other. Like 2 people spawned right behind me as I just spawned in and shot me in the back literally half a second after. The spawns honestly need a lot of work, and I think that was one of the biggest frustrations with the game, where you're basically spawning in and dying 2 seconds later. They definitely have to do a lot of work with that, and it's not working as intended. I think that is a huge thing, and they should probably try to bring it back to a normal Call of Duty spawning system. Now the way you actually spawn into the match, it's not press square to respawn instantly. You die and then you have to look at the sky for a minute and you zoom back into the map. Personally, not a huge fan of that. I know some of you guys might like it because it's kind of like Battlefield. Personally, was not a fan of that feature. Now there were certain things about the map design that I really detested. I'm going to be honest, I really hated some of the map design in the game. Like I said, the maps look beautiful, but the way they played out wasn't the best. For example, Grasna Raid, like there's just so many places to look. It's really, really difficult to tell. You can start to get tendencies of where people like to camp up and stuff like that, but at the same time it's really difficult to know where to look, and the game does feel very, very random a lot of the time, where like you're just getting instantly melted by somebody sitting in a head glitch, and you don't know where you're getting shot from because there's like so many verticals and so many different little spots people can be in. It did get very frustrating with the spawns and the map layouts, especially in Grasno Raid. Like I said, if you go up the street, there's potentially 6, 7, 8, 9 places people can be, and it did get very, very annoying, and it just felt random. And to me, it kind of felt like it took the skill gap away from the game a little bit, where you don't know where you're getting shot from, and because of the time to kill being so low, and because the game has so much aim assist, it actually felt like just super random, and it didn't feel like the skill gap was there, like Call of Duty Black Ops 4. You know, obviously Black Ops 4 was really messy with the specialists, the pay-to-win guns. I personally did not like Black Ops 4. If you took away all of the rubbish, the skill gap was definitely there, and I feel like this game was missing the skill gap in a lot of areas. Now, one of the things we're going to talk about skill gap is skill-based matchmaking. Now, I personally tested this out myself. The gameplay that you guys are watching right now, I got like 50 something kills, 53 or 55 kills. It's my best game in the beta. I was basically matching against complete sweats, dude. Like, I'm a pretty decent player, Call of Duty. I'm able to drop streaks. I think my best kill streak in the beta was like 15 or 16 or something like that. I was actually doing really, really well. And the better I done, the more sweaty players I came up against, unfortunately. It has been confirmed by Infinity Ward themselves in an interview with Game Informer that they're looking at skill-based matchmaking and they were testing it within the beta. So what I decided to do, I was just getting completely destroyed by campers, dude. Like, it's such a huge advantage to camp in this game as opposed to rushing and playing aggressively because of, like I said, the way the map's laid out with the amount of verticals. Head glitches are absolutely everywhere. There's not that many open areas for people to run through. Like, people always have cover, and it kind of feels like Rainbow Six Siege in a way, where people are just ADSing everything. You have to play very, very sweaty, and the skill-based matchmaking to me just made the game feel absolutely terrible. Like, for me, I play Call of Duty for fun. Like, I don't want to be a competitive player. You know, I want to make YouTube videos where I pub stomp, get nukes, get kill streaks, and, you know, obviously you roll with the punches. You have some good games, you have some bad games. Sometimes you find a god lobby where you're like, oh my god, there's so many noobs in this lobby. And then you find a game where it's like, oh my god, this is super sweaty. Let me try my best to beat these sweaty players. Like, I'm not the type of person who normally backs out of lobbies because there's good players in there. I'll play most lobbies and I'll be like, oh my god, I have to beat this guy. This guy's really good, I have to beat him. Or I will play against noobs and I'll be like, yo, let's go. I'm like absolutely stomping right now. I'm getting 50, 60, 70 kills. This is insane. Like, I love both aspects of it, but whenever it's only competitive, just competitive, head glitch, getting melted instantly, two-shotted across the map, bang, 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 bang. It just got really, really repetitive and really frustrating. And I honestly was just losing full at a certain stage. I think skill-based matchmaking needs to be completely removed from the game. It gives new players a false security and less of an incentive to level up and do well, because they're like, oh, everybody's just so newbie in this game, like, this game's not that fun. You know, you don't really get to see, like, the crazy kill streaks because nobody's getting them. Basically, in all of the game modes, nobody's getting crazy kill streaks because when everybody's a similar skill level, it just balances out way too much. And yeah, personally, I think that was what, like, definitely drew a lot of the fun out of the game. Now, I think we're going to have a bit of an issue with the crossplay thing. Like I said, they've brought in a couple of new aim assist options, like focusing and stuff like that. Focusing is on by default, and it gives you near miss assist. If you're aiming in on somebody and you miss them, you'll automatically get zoomed over to them. It's kind of like playing zombies, dude. I completely disagree with that. I know some of my friends tried the game out on mouse and keyboard, and they were just getting completely melted. You just see the way that you die sometimes. If you just watch kill cams and the way people shoot, it just doesn't look right. There's something very, very wrong with it. I think they need to get rid of the new aim assist options, personally. I'm not seeing a lot of people complaining about that, so I might be in a minority here. Maybe this is a really unpopular opinion, but I think the aim assist is way too strong. One of the things I was most excited for was Modern Warfare's recoil. Like, if you look at the AK-47, the SMGs even, and like all of the weapons, there's so much recoil, and I was like, yo, let's go, finally. A Call of Duty game that's got a lot of recoil. It's gonna feel like really skillful, but you just don't feel it. Like, you're just basically getting full spread across the map because the aim assist, you know, locks the recoil down, basically. It doesn't allow the recoil to do its thing, and it doesn't feel good in my opinion. You know, if you guys disagree, that's fine. I do think this is an unpopular opinion, but I think that's a bigger problem than people are kind of talking about. I feel like everybody's focused on skill-based at the moment. That to me is one of the biggest issues in the game currently. You guys can let me know if you think the same thing, or if you notice that people were shooting like really weirdly and still getting kills. It didn't feel right. Now, obviously the time to kill, I'm used to it. I've played Modern Warfare 2, which is one of my favourite Call of Duties ever, so I'm used to getting absolutely melted. But I think the way the game's set up, it's more set up for campers. People can head glitch on those little mount areas, there's so many verticals and everything. Time to kill feels really rough. Whenever, as soon as you turn a corner, you're getting melted by somebody camping. It just didn't feel good. So I think they either need to do something with the aim assist or the time to kill, bro. Like, they can't have them both in such an extreme spot. you know, extremely quick time to kill and extremely strong aim assist, it doesn't match up in my opinion, and I think it's just going to make the game feel super random. Yeah, finally the last thing I want to really talk about is just it's so hard to play aggressively and it's so easy to camp. There's a really bad balance, and I think there's a really bad gun balance in the game at the moment currently as well. Obviously with the gunsmith I do think it's really cool, but it's really hard to balance gunsmith, right? So like for example the M4, the MP5 are super strong compared to a lot of the weapons in the game. If you guys haven't tried it yet, try out the LMGs. They literally two-shot across the map, and if people are on head glitches getting zero recoil with LMGs, it is horrible. It is so bad. They can just fully spray, like they don't have to reload. There's no recoil. It's a doozy, bro. It's an absolute doozy. I think they need to do some work to balance the weapons a little bit, and I think they need to make the sprint out time a little bit faster. And obviously I think they're going to put the UAVs back to the way they worked before. I feel like there's a delay with UAVs where you're not seeing real-time updates on the UAV. You're kind of seeing where people were like a second ago. And with the minimap and stuff like that, I think they definitely need red dots. The thing with the minimap that a lot of people aren't considering is it's going to cause an imbalance with perks, right? So, for example, everybody's going to use Ghost. Whenever you call in a UAV, you're not going to see anything because everybody's using Ghost. You're not going to see gunshots on the map, so people don't even have to use Silencer. So there's just basically going to be no minimap whatsoever in the game. You're basically only going to be able to see where your teammates are, and you know, they don't have to make any kind of sacrifice whatsoever. Just put on Ghost and they can run about the map freely without having to worry about anything. Perks overall, I think the perks need a little bit of a work. AOD was not saving me against grenades and claymores that often, or against the rocket launchers and stuff like that. I think AOD needs to have a better effect. Likewise, Battle Hardened, which is like Tac Mask, which is supposed to save you against flashes and stuns, didn't really do too much. Now there's a really OP perk setup that I've talked about before, which is Restock and Shrapnel. Restock allows you to restock your explosive equipment every 30 seconds. Shrapnel allows you to start off with an extra explosive, and whenever you damage somebody, they can't heal up instantly. So basically what you're able to do is start off with 2 claymores, put them straight up, restock claymores every 30 seconds, so you can just camp the building and get claymored, and even people with AOD are dying to them. So it definitely doesn't feel right, and there is 100% a lot of balancing that needs to be done with the perks and everything in the game. But yeah, those are kind of my main concerns with the game, guys. Like I said, I love a lot of the things, like some of the really cool attention to detail things in the game is like the watch. I still think this game has the potential to be the best Call of Duty ever. I guess the last little thing I want to talk about is netcode. With the skill-based matchmaking, it's putting players with a bad connection into different lobbies and stuff. It should be only connection-based matchmaking. I was getting a lot of shoot first, die first kind of stuff, and it felt like I was getting 1 or 2 shotted, and I was putting like 4 or 5 shots into people. There was a lot of inconsistency with it, and with the animations and the way the servers refresh, it felt like somebody was crouching instantly, like they're standing. 100 milliseconds later, they were on the ground. You know, it's like there was no intermission animations. Basically, whenever animations are made, there's different animation states. For example, an animation state is when you're standing up, when you're running, when you're crouching, when you're prone. Usually whenever an animation goes through, you're able to see them go through certain states. So basically, like whenever they're standing up and they hit crouch, you'll see their head move down a little bit, you know. For a couple of frames, you'll see their head go down, and then they'll go into a crouching state. In this game, it was like 1 frame they're standing up, next frame they're crouched, next frame they're prone. You know, like the animations and the way that the states worked, it looked very, very choppy, and basically it just messed up the hitboxes. Like if you're shooting somebody in the chest and they crouch, like you don't still hit their head on the way down, it's just like their body teleports into that animation. It looked very, very choppy, and it's going to be very, very broken whenever people are crouch spamming and drop shotting and stuff. It just doesn't look right. Yeah, those are my main complaints and my main faults about the beta. I'm going to be honest, this game made me lose full so many times this weekend. I honestly went insane. I haven't raged at a game so hard since H1Z1 on the PC. Now, while I do think this game has amazing potential, I really do think that a lot of these things have to be fixed. And like I said, I do love a lot of things about the game. I'm like a sucker for punishment. You know, as much as I was getting frustrated, I kept coming back and back and back, because I can see the potential, guys. This game can be really, really good. But hopefully Infinity Ward just keeps listening, because they're doing a really good job of listening. And, you know, hopefully they do fix a lot of stuff in the game. But yeah, that's it, guys. Those are my personal, honest opinions. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, like I said. Hopefully you guys do appreciate the honesty, if nothing else. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. Subscribe if you're brand new if you like these types of discussion videos. And 100%, guys, get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. And until next time, this has been King. Good luck and peace out.